Alrighty then, the recording is running, and I'd like to welcome everyone today, October 1st, to this awesome new emergency webinar all about the new product called Webinar Alpha. And I know a lot of you have questions, and I'm going to address them at the end of the call. I think it's going to be more to your benefit if I just sort of do a brain spill for you on this whole thing right now. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? If that sounds good, let me see a 1 in the chat box if I could. And let's sort of get our minds off of money and purchase and all that kind of stuff. As I really want to do is I just want to talk to you about this product, okay, and what it does, this software, because I spent a good deal of my life focused on this product, and I want to share that all you. So this is going to be a brain dump from me to you about this product, and then you can decide intelligently, whether it's something that you want to invest in or not. I think you should. I mean, for the money, this thing does some really cool stuff. Now, the way that Steve explains this in his marketing is basically, like we all know how strong it is to have a webinar and present your ideas on a webinar, and then you can often monetize that webinar by having an offer related to the training that you're giving or whatever at the end. And so the way that Webinar Alpha was designed basically is to provide you the same kind of platform but eliminate the need to actually do a live broadcast. Okay, because Webinar Alpha it's kind of a little bit of a misnomer because it is not like GoToWebinar. It is not like a Hangout. We do not have live presentations in Webinar Alpha. So I want to make that very clear, just to clarify that in your mind. This is not like GoToWebinar in that we don't have this huge infrastructure where we're broadcasting live bandwidth all across the internet from a live presenter to a bunch of live people. But what it does do is it simulates that environment. And it does that with pre-recorded videos. Now, does that start to make a little sense? I mean, you probably already understood it, but I think that's sort of the point, where people are saying, what's all this about a webinar? So, well, really what it is, it's a simulation of a webinar. And it gives you enough control over this system so that you can create like sales funnels, but basically in the guise of training. And you can have your users register or not register. It's up to you. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to use it. The main thing about Webinar Alpha is the events section, because what you're doing is, we call it creating events. And if I go to my events section, since you are fairly new to this software, and if you own it, you probably don't have events yet. But as you can see, I have quite a number of them that I've already created and saved. Most of them are tests, but I've done a few live things. And before I drill down into the events, let me just touch on the account section really quick, because you want to set this up before you go to your events. You're going to put in your company name, your reply to email, and reply to name. That's really important, and the reason why is because Webinar Alpha has an email server at the back end, and it's going to email the people that register for your events. And to do that, it's going to want to use your reply to email and your name, so that they're not emailing me back, after they register for your event. They're going to email you back. So you got to put your own email in there, your own name. You can also put your company logo, as you see I have, and that gets used for your events. Additionally, we have 2 email marketing providers integrated, Aweber and GetResponse. I have a lot of requests for other providers, and so those are all on my list of things to do. SendLane is the next one, and we're also going to incorporate a form where you can paste in your email provider's form code, and then we'll just interpret it. If you know me, you know that when I do a launch, I don't stop working the product just because the launch has arrived. In fact, that's just the beginning. I am a longtime martial artist, and what they say about when you get your black belt is, when you get your black belt, it's really just the beginning of learning. And that's sort of how I see a launch in a way. It's really just the beginning. That's why it's called a launch. It's the beginning of the program. So I'm definitely going to have my ears open to customer feedback, requests, and such and so on and so forth. So we're going to be filling out the email marketing providers. And in addition, you can export registered emails just by clicking this button. Now let's go to the events section. Guys, forgive me if you'll give me, I need to run out for 20 seconds. I'll be right back. Please, 20 seconds, that's all, I promise. All right. Okay. Now, if you do buy the reseller license, that part is going to be available down here in the accounts section, but we're going to get to that later. Let me just glance at the question and see we got. Okay, Anna, what's up? MailChimp. Okay, so before I go on, hey, Bruce, Rick, Paul, what's up? Now, can you guys all see the screen and hear me okay before I go any further? Okay, great. Cliff, Terrence, Cos, Bill, Robin, Ann, how you guys doing? Great to see everyone here. Okay, let's boogie then. So I'm going to go over to the events screen. Like I said, if you're just brand new in the software, you're not going to have anything on this screen except a button that says create a new event. So what you're going to do is click that button. And now this application, guys, it's not optimized for a big, huge computer. Although it doesn't look bad, but if you have a big, huge screen, I did not really program this for a big, huge computer. In fact, I focused really much more on mobile responsiveness. This is really a wonderfully mobile responsive application. So let's go ahead and make an event. Okay, so Hugh's awesome emergency webinar event. So now you can make your description, as complex as you want, and you also have a little bit of a HTML editor here to work with, as you can see. If you want to work directly in HTML, you can go to the source and you can add your own HTML. Now, it's not the greatest HTML editor in the world, but I actually have a bead on a new one that I'm going to be adding in, which is really going to upgrade this. Okay, so you can do HTML tags. Now, those are the first two, and the last thing you need to really have a full event is a main video. You can use a YouTube video. I recommend you using something like an S3 hosted video. So let me just sort of grab something here. For example, let's see, if I have my, no, I don't want to use that. I didn't really think out what I was going to use, so let me just sort of figure out what will I use. Yeah, you can, this is mobile, you can schedule this stuff anywhere. Now, let me see, if I have the live call, Okay, I've got a live call. Hopefully that'll work. I'll just take that video, and all I have to do is paste it here and then save. And so now we've got this saved, and now it will show my video. And now you can see also a lot of other options have now revealed themselves now that I've saved the main settings. I probably shouldn't start playing this because it's going to suck up the bandwidth. It does show you the beginning though. It shows you what it looks like, so you can see the video has loaded. Now, you have various options for you to choose to set up these events. Before I go any further, let me just paint the picture in your mind that what we're doing here was we're setting up a show, right? We're setting up a show, and then we're going to invite people to our show. And that show is going to have certain features and certain behavior once the people get to that show. The whole thing is about getting people to the show. Now, if you don't want to force people to opt in, you can get people to just see the show anonymously. Like if you want to just sell stuff on a video, you don't have to have them register. I'm going to explain that to you. But that's part of it. It's, you know, that part of it does work similarly to the larger webinar companies in that you can put out a registration page, you can capture the lead, and then email them the link to the presentation. In which case, what you're going to be doing is promoting that presentation page. And if you don't want to force people to opt in, then you're not going to promote the presentation page. You're going to promote, you're not going to promote the registration page. You're going to promote the presentation page if you just want them to be there anonymously. Okay, I hope I think I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. I'm trying to paint a picture for you. Robin, I'm not going to be able to discuss like affiliate stuff on this call. This is all about the product, okay? Let's talk about that on Facebook or something. So once we've set our video, now we're going to select certain features. So we got a feature here called lock video, which means that when the video is playing, they cannot stop the video from playing. They cannot click on it. They cannot rewind. They can't do anything except just it plays like it's a live call. That is, you know, it simulates a live playback. You may not want to use that. If you're just like trying to sell a product on a one-page video buy button, you might want to let people, you know, go back and forth in the video and check stuff out. But if you're doing a strategy where you're really simulating a live call and you want people to show up live, then you want to lock that video. And we have another function called the interactive chat, and by clicking that, you're going to actually have a real live chat box on the video, which you can attend. Now, if you set the schedule, we'll get in the schedule in a minute, but if you set the schedule so that it's like a one-time show, and you turn on the chat and you lock the video, then people show up and you have a chat on that video at that time. And we have international time zones built in, so this is effective worldwide. So you can set a show time and a show date for a particular date and time, and you can set it at a specific time internationally so everybody in the world sees it at the same time. Or you can say the heck with that, and you can just have everybody choose a time whenever they want to show up, and then they'll just show up. Of course, you're not going to be able to do your chat that way, but that's okay because you may want to give your people, you know, free access to register anytime they want and view that video anytime they want. Okay, so just you bear these things in mind when you're designing your strategy, right? So let me just take a moment and make sure you're all with me so far. Let me get a 1 if I may. To know that you're hanging in there with me. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Lots of 1s. Great, fantastic, super, super, super. All righty then, so The next thing here is integrate ESP with event. Now, if you think that means, are we going to be able to mind read our users? No, I'm afraid it's not that kind of ESP. It's email service providers, what I'm talking about. So if you want to integrate the email service provider with your event, then you turn that on and you select your email list. And of course, you've integrated your ESP in the account section the way I showed you earlier. So you're able to download your list that way. So I can select a list, and that will be when my registration page is out there and people register for my event, they're going to get added to that list automatically. Now, if I don't want to force people to opt in, then that's kind of moot. But if you're really doing that, great. Then you can also force your chat users to opt in. Now, you might want to do that on an interactive, rather on a non-scheduled event. You force them to opt in. Rather an anonymous event, like you send people right to the show, right? Go right to see my show. And then on the right-hand side, the chat pops up and it says, please enter your name and email to join the chat. So you can get your leads that way without even forcing them to register to see the show. Okay, it just depends on what you want. And of course, we've got the lovely Facebook like and share and the Facebook comments. And those are always nice to have. And I show the company info and page footers. I showed you the account, the company name, and the logo. Those will appear in the page footers if you turn this on. And now this send presentation link by email only. This is an important point here, because if you turn this on, that's how you unanonymize the system, right? Because if you don't turn that on, people can really pretty much spoof their emails because they get sent immediately to the presentation after registering, or at least to the countdown page. And the countdown page eventually turns into the show because it counts down, and then the show is shown at the end of the countdown. So if they have access to the countdown page, then they really have access to the show as well. So by turning on send presentation link by email only, then the only way that they can get to that presentation is by getting the link in their email inbox. So that way you can really, really be sure that they're putting in a real email. And then, of course, the ever popular redirect at end of video. If you put a URL there, the presentation page will automatically navigate to whatever URL you save in there for your user when the video stops playing. Now, I'd like to just mention really quickly that these two automation things, which are redirecting at the end of video and locking your video, those two things work primarily with MP4 videos that are hosted on something like S3. At the current time, the YouTube videos, while they are convenient, they do not offer us the same either the rights or the programmability to do that kind of thing. And I'm going to investigate that. If I can make it happen, I'll make it happen. But right now, it doesn't do that. Okay, so you use an MP4 video stored on S3 if you want that kind of automation. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. And now, whenever you make changes to this page, and this is just the main page, click that Save button. Now, you'll notice down here we've got actually 4 other sections: branding, scheduling, SEO, and monetization. Also, we have a quick jump up at the top of the screen here. All you have to do is click this top bar, and you can go to any section at any time. You can also, once you get in there, we've got these arrows, these left and right arrow buttons at the top and the bottom, so you can just go from screen to screen. Once we do get the first part of the settings saved, which is this blue first page, I highly recommend that you go into the branding section and fill out everything in the branding, because everything that you save in here is what makes your public pages look great, plus a little extra sauce that we throw in, but it's really what you put into it that makes it enticing for your users. So the first thing I'm going to do, I guess I'll put in my name. Could be anybody. Other companies have multiple names. We're just trying to keep it simple. So you could probably put several names in there if you wanted to, but we just got, is the owner and CSA, right, Bill? Haha. Chief Software Architect for Web Dimensions, Inc. Whatever, you could put whatever you want in there. Now you got some very cool functions for adding logos. You just click this image and you go to your logo, and the logos you can choose are pretty big. I mean, you can choose a big, huge 1,000-pixel banner if you want to, and it'll be shown at the top of the screen. For me right now, I'm just going to choose a smaller logo. Let's see, how big is that one? That's too big. So this one is that one's 200. So I just open the image, it appears, and then it immediately uploads. So you don't have to do anything other than select it, and it's automatically saved. You know what? My lovely thing went away because I did the logo before I saved it. Sorry about that. Let me save that before I do the next one so I don't lose it. So you just click the save button, okay? Actually, I will change that so it'll save when they upload the image too. That can be done. So now we get the presenter image, and I got some really nice little photo myself, and there we go. Of course, it doesn't have to be you personally. It can be anything. I mean, you can totally use other people's information, whatever it is that you're trying to promote. Thank you, Peter. So then we can also put a preview video here, and this will appear on the registration page and as well on the countdown page. But the main presentation screen gets the main video that you put in the previous screen. So let me just find some little thing to put in here. Let me see. Let's see, it's got something here. Let's just pretend, I'm just going to pretend that this is some kind of video that's saying, hey, this is a great presentation, sign up now or stay tuned because you're really going to like it, whatever. That's what you're going to be here. No, the preview can be YouTube, Bruce. Absolutely. Either video can be YouTube or an MP4 stored on the internet somewhere, but we have better programmability with MP4 videos. That's what I'm saying. So now that I've saved it, you will see that video, pop up here. It says this video will autoplay in the register screen, the waiting room screen. Okay, so now I'm going to go next. We're going to go to the next section, which is scheduling. Now this part is probably the most complicated part of the program, and I'm not trying to say it's complicated, but this is the part that requires just a little bit of extra thought to understand. And because of that, I'm going to draw you a picture of here. Now, you basically have your choice of these two kinds. You've got a fixed schedule, or you've got a flexible schedule, right? Does that make sense? I'm hoping that strikes a nerve. Thanks for the ones, because the The thing is, if you have a fixed schedule, then you can plan around that. You can plan to be there on it. You can show up on the chat and answer questions. You can do whatever you want. You can also, that's what I'm doing right now, Tony. Also on the fixed schedule, if we have a feature called scarcity that I'm going to get to in a second. The scarcity is basically, you already saw the countdown from the time that you register to the time, well, you haven't seen it, I'm going to show you, but there's a countdown from the time that you register to the time the show time begins, right? Oh, show begins in 3 minutes or whatever. There's also a countdown from the time of the show to the time that the offer goes away, okay? Because you're going to give them an offer, and then you're going to give them another countdown to that offer. So you only have 2 hours to click this button and get the offer, or you only have 2 more days to watch this video or it goes away, right? So those are the 2 counters. Now, they're used in both. If you have a fixed schedule, the scarcity counter will be pinned to the fixed schedule. But if you have a flexible schedule, the scarcity counter is pinned to the time that the person registered for, since it's flexible. Okay, just if that's hard for you to get, that's fine. I don't blame you. Believe me, it wasn't easy for me to kind of psych this out, but it's quite reasonable. Oh, awesome, Bruce. 11111. Okay, great. So let's go back here then and look. So we've got specific date type, or we've got these other types. Now the specific date is really the fixed schedule that I'm explaining to you. Every day's type means that the user can pick whatever they want. They can just say, oh, I want to see next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Great. And then they sign up. They get their reminders. They get emailed. Your show's starting at 1 hour from now or 1 day from now. And that's the fixed time for them. It's the time that they subscribe for. But if you choose fixed date, then you're going to select the date here and the show time, like this. And you save it like that. So then now when we look at the registration page, it's going to say this show is on October 8th at 2 p.m. Right? But if we go for every day like this and save it, it's going to say choose your show time. And the other ones, 1 day every week and certain days per week, are really just kind of an expansion on the choose your show time. Although what we do is we give them options like Monday, Tuesdays, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. might be something that you choose. Now, I think what I'll do, well, as soon as I get through all of these things, I'm going to show you how this looks in the real world. Because right now you're just seeing like the admin console, but I'm going to show you the public pages because that's what we're going to get to. Let me just go through this and then enable view now. If this is ticked, in addition to the other options that the user is offered, they also have a button that says, see this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 or 7, or view now. If they click view now, then they're going to immediately be registered and actually for 2 minutes in the future. And they're going to receive all those emails. And if you set, send link by email only, then they're going to be sent to a screen that says, check your inbox now for your link for your live show that starts in 2 minutes. Okay, so that's, I think that sort of adequately covers the scheduling for now. Let's go to the next one. Now this is, call it SEO. It's just 3 basic SEO fields that are injected into your public pages. Of course, the SEO title, the description, the keywords, and those are very important because these are the SEO face that you put on your public facing pages, these are really what are going to show up in Google, you know, assuming that you go and promote these things and get them out there. Of course, the SEO title goes between the title tags in the HTML. The SEO description goes in the meta description tag in the head, and the SEO keywords goes in the meta keywords tag. So just put a few keywords. If you don't put anything in there, it just copies from the title and description from the previous screen, from the other blue screen that we saw. So we've got that in there. Now we can just either use this or click to the next screen. And now the final bit of settings for the event is the monetization. Now you have your option to what I call display additional content, but the additional content has to do with you, you know, trying to make some coin off of this thing. You've gone to the trouble of getting people to show up, you know, then you want to have some option that they're going to eventually end up buying something, or, you know, or whatever. So you click the display additional content button, and that will reveal the monetization features for you. Now we have the option of using our buy button. This is the buy button, of course, and you can select the size that you want it to be. And this is pretty much real size. It'll show up on a page. If you have a mobile phone, you can use these buttons here. You can change the color like this. Like if you want to see like a Zaxa button, you can change it like this and just get different looks on it. Now the text, all you got to do, Delphine, is just click right in here and type it. Whatever you want to say there. Get this puppy now. So that's what we'll have on our little presentation. Now, if you don't want to use our buy button and you have your own button, your own code, or some ClickBank code or a JVZoo button you can even put in there, you don't have to use our button. There is a benefit to using our button instead of that, because we track button clicks on our button. And you'll see those in the stats section that I'm going to show you later. If you, hold on a second. Pardon me. If you don't want to use our buy button, you have your own code, you just click here, your code, and then you have this spot here, and you paste in whatever code you want. And as I said, it could be anything. It could even be AdSense. I've used AdSense. It works great. Now, there is a delay, if you want, between the time that the page loads and the button shows up. It kind of fades in this increment that you select here, either a certain amount of minutes or a certain amount of seconds. And for this purpose, or you can put it to 0 and it'll immediately just be there. For this demonstration, I'm going to put it 15 seconds just so you can see it. And then I'm going to save that. Always save after you make a change. There are 3 parts of the monetization section. The next one is called scarcity. I mentioned this before, right? We have this scarcity timer. And it's just like a regular countdown timer, and you can set that timer to appear, or rather to count down, you know, any increment, to show any increment. For example, when it shows up with the buy button or whatever, and it can say, you know, available for 2 hours or available for 4 more days, you know, whatever. You can have that counter show up at the top of the page, the bottom of the page, to be delayed with the delayed buy button, whatever you want to do. I think that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to save that. Now, just to quickly explain count from user cookies or don't show after scarcity, I already explained with the schedule type that you can either have the countdown start from the time of the event or from the time that they register for the event. So that's, now when you select user cookies, that's going to actually start counting from the first time that they hit that presentation page. And there are like different strategies to use for that. And also, if you're promoting your presentation page without opting in, it's going to do that anyway. It's just going to use the cookies regardless. And it'll start counting down your scarcity from the minute that they hit that presentation page. Pardon me, don't show after scarcity. All that means is that when the scarcity timer reaches the end, that's all she wrote. Your user will not be able to view that video. They will not be able to register. They will not be able to see the buy button or click it. Instead, they'll see a page that says, we're sorry you missed it. So, that's all part of a marketing campaign, because you got to be serious, about if you're going to follow through with your scarcity threats, you have to be able to do that. So that's what that's for. Now, there's one more section, which is retargeting. And, a full explanation of retargeting is definitely way beyond the scope of this webinar. However, let's suffice it to say that anybody that lands on your page will get a cookie put in, which will allow you to market to them anywhere on the internet using retargeting platforms. So you have two different options of retargeting, either the registration page or the presentation page. So you can design ads for people that hit your registration page, design ads for people that hit your presentation page, or design ads for example, people that hit the registration page but never went to the presentation page, and so on and so forth. Now, before I get into the kind of cooler, fun part, let me just mention one more thing, which is the email queue. Okay, so when a person registers, an email queue is created. They receive welcome and details. They receive 1 hour reminder, 1 day before reminder, 1 day after follow-up, and 1 week follow-up. Also, you missed it, like if they didn't show up or whatever. These messages are all generated the minute that somebody submits a registration. It all goes into the calendar. Okay, so now let's go to the fun part. So you saw that I just created this event here, and now that I've gone through all of that, well, before I do that, let me just take a little breather and just let me make sure you're all still with me. I'm going kind of fast. You can just give me a little bit of reassurance there that you're all by my side and coming along with me. That'd be awesome. All right, great. We got someone to thank. Fantastic, beautiful. Thank you so much. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great, great, great. Okay, cool. All right, so now we go on to the fun part. Yeah, flexible means relative, Delphine. I guess you could definitely say that. It's more flowing, flowing with time rather than stuck in time, as it were. Awesome, Bruce. Okay, so now we've got our event made. Hey, Rick, what's up, brother? So you've got what I refer to as event units. Okay, and this is an event unit, and you see I've got quite a list of event units on this page. One other thing I'll mention that I don't think Steve demonstrated today is that, as I mentioned, this is fully mobile responsive, but it also works great on a computer. So if you pull it open to a certain part, you'll notice now you have 2 columns, and it makes it more manageable. I'm really not quite sure what happened on Steve's machine today because he had really everything stretched out a little bit strange. I think that's got a huge, huge monitor. But as I said, this is really very well optimized for a small mobile or a computer of, medium size like this. So now, okay, I've configured this event. Now what we can do is we can actually start to see what things look like. So we have these 3 buttons at the bottom here, which are preview buttons. So we can preview the registration page. And as you can see here, we've got the registration page. We've got my logo at the top, my headline, my description, my preview videos playing. And, if I did a little bit more in the description and the presenter about over here, it would be filled out more. In fact, I'm going to show you some examples where that's done. But like I said before, the more that you add in, the more it looks good. If you notice, though, that if I do this responsive thing, it does the same thing. It pops into one column, and it just looks very good. And we also have this kind of cool selection here for the show time. And the user can also select their time zone. Now, some people are saying, hey, well, it looks a little boring, maybe the background should be changed. Well, this is the groovy part here, guys, because you go ahead and click this button here that says themes. And we got a whole bunch of themes that you can apply. Now, the themes collection that I've assembled for you is fairly basic, and I will be filling this out. Now, just look at how awesome it looks when you just pick one. Okay, so there you've got, now you can see what it looks like with a theme on it, and it really looks pretty cool. Now, if I want to save that theme, I'll just click the Save button down here, and that'll save it. So now I can close that, and if I open the next one, the Preview Event Details screen, you're going to see the theme is already saved. And it looks really nice on a mobile or on a computer. And it's got the countdown. Event starts in 24 hours. If you use this preview thing, then basically you're using a fake registration to view it. That's always going to be 24 hours in advance. Otherwise, your registration would run out and you couldn't watch this page. And this is actually the thank you page, and the reason is because I have this event set to send link by email only. That's why it says please check your inbox. If I didn't have that selected, then it would say something like your show starts in 23 hours or whatever. Now, you can always change to a different theme at any time that you want to. And like I said, I'll be adding a ton more. And I also plan to allow you to upload your own header images and basically do your own themes. As far as the localizing in another language, I don't have that in yet, but I'm getting a lot of questions for that. So I'm pretty sure that's something I'm going to be putting in because that's what people want, So whatever you guys want, that's what's going to end up in this thing. Not if like one person wants it, but if I see a trend, and I can definitely see the trend here that people want this localized. They want their own language and they want their own artwork. So that's fine. I'll put all that in. Not a problem. It's just not that hard to do it. Believe me, Cloud Movie Machine is about 1,000 times harder to make than this. So yeah, we can do pretty much anything that are trends that people want done for this. So don't worry about it. Just give me your before we go any further, let me mention down here, you see this little purple icon down at the lower right? I want you guys to use this to contact me. This is like a direct line to me. So you open this up and you just start a new conversation and type it in here and it goes directly to me. and then I'll answer you right there. Okay, so that's how, if I'd like you to give me your suggestions and your feedback by using that little device. Okay, then we could look at the actual presentation screen. And this is what the presentation screen would look like. Remember, I programmed that buy button to come up in 15 seconds. It's really fast, but you're going to see that pop up, and there it comes. Hi guys, it's Hugh here, and welcome to Module 6. And you can see I can't click on it. I can't stop it. It's got the lock. It's locked. Where and how to sell your software products. And mainly we're talking about the affiliate platforms out there, because you want to leverage. So I was trying to say that I was trying to turn off that video, but I have it locked. You know, I showed you that lock function. I can't even turn it off myself. What I will do is turn that off now, just so I can expound on it just a bit. Yeah, so bandwidth lag because of that video was loading. I want to just show you that one more time. Hopefully we can get through the bandwidth lag. I'm not going to talk about purchases or money or anything right now. I'm just talking about the software and what it does. We'll get all of that stuff later if we need to. Okay, so now I'm going to open this again just to the same presentation page. Yes, there's going to be a bandwidth lag because this video is loading. As soon as it loads, though, it starts playing, I'm going to turn it off because I turned off the lock so I can access it. Okay, here we go. Hi, guys. And you can see how easy I could just turn it off now after turning off that lock. You got this link, get this puppy now. I don't think I put the link in, so if I click it, nothing's going to happen. But whatever link that you save with this button is where it's going to go. I did want to point out the Facebook comments plugin right here, the Facebook like and share, which is right here, and the company info right here. Those are all options that you choose. You guys with me? You hearing me okay? Bandwidth problems or anything? Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys. And the other thing is that I provided some fairly generic privacy terms, disclaimer, and all that stuff at the bottom, so that you don't have to worry about compliance. Those are there. Now, what I could, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Next, I'm going to show you this. Right on, Robin. So right now, if you are ready for this thing to go live, you're going to have to publish it. So you're going to click this red button now, publish this event now, and confirm. Now that that event has been published, another button appears. It says Manage Public Pages. So you open that, and this opens you to a listing of all the pages that now are live for your event. If you want to preview, you can actually preview the live page by getting this link open. And so here is a live page. And once again, it's fully mobile responsive. And now you can also choose, not only can you choose, you can do a custom URL, but you can choose from 3 different words for your URL for the register, because this is the entry to your funnel. Sign up, join, or register, and the ID. Now, what's also nice is you really don't need the ID. You can put your own custom URL. And as soon as you put that in there, it's going to check and make sure it's okay for you. And then if it's okay, you're going to save it. So now my URL will read, as you'll see, events.webinaralpha.org/register/Hughes Emergency Webby. So now if I want to promote this, I could take this URL and go and, submit it on a press release or whatever it is that you do, put it on social networks or whatever, trying to get people, email it to your list. That's what you do. Now you also have that same URL, at least that same custom string will be there for your presentation. Now, if it's an anonymous presentation, you can access the anonymous presentation right here. If you don't want to force people to opt in, you're going to promote this URL. And you can see now it's events.webinaralpha.org/viewnow/Hughes emergency Webby. So you're going to take this URL and you're going to promote that, if that's what you want to do, to get people to view this show without opting in. And you might want to do that. I email my lists all the time with pages that just have a video and a buy button. And that is like one of the greatest ways to market. I can, truthfully attest that really this is all you need to make money right here. You can even get a video from YouTube that somebody else made about an affiliate product and just put your affiliate link into this button and then promote this page. It's so easy. You don't even have to have all the opt-in, all the complicated stuff that we've already built in. In fact, when I get done with this webinar today and I get the recording, I am going to put it on one of these. I'm going to email it to my whole list and you'll see that. Now, so you get the idea of what we're trying to do here. Now, the reason why it doesn't open to the event details page or the registered presentation page is because these are just bare links. Thank you, Robin. These are just basically bare links. So in order to get to an event details page or a registered presentation, you must register and get an ID for your registration. And that only gets sent to you either by email if you have that set up, or it'll be pushed out when they submit their registration. Okay, so that's up to you. But once this starts to sink into you, you're going to really understand what you can use this for. So this is how you basically export or externalize what you've done in your admin console. Now there's one more thing about this that I need to show you, and it's this button right here called Export Pages. Now, if you don't want your URL to be, events.webinaralpha.org, and if you want to put it on your own server, all you have to do is click this button right here, and then you get a zip file, and okay, so anyway, you get a zip file, and in the zip file you get 7 PHP files, and you just create a folder on your server and you put those 7 PHP files in the folder, and then you run your server / your folder / register.php or viewnow.php, and you have it hosted on your own server. I will say that it is actually getting the data from our server, but it's completely served by your server and your URL. As long as your account is in good standing, it's going to serve that forever. Awesome, Bruce. Thank you. Now, is there anything else? I think that's pretty much it. There's the one last thing. Well, you can filter your events here. If you just want to see all your live events, you click this. If you just want to see all your drafts, you click this, so on and so forth. Then there's the stats section. The stats section, and the tracking is still good, Paul. The stats will still be tracked even if you host on your own server. Isn't that cool? So obviously there's no stats on this one yet. If I gave you guys the URL to the event that I just made, then we'd start to see some stats on there. But I can look at some other ones that I've done, like for example, unfortunately I got involved with this. Now let me show you how the stats thing. Delphine, it has nothing to do with domains. The stats that we track are about actions on Webinar Alpha and nothing else. We're not tracking traffic or page, we're tracking page views. We're not tracking, we could add more to track more stats. So right now we're just tracking these demographics. Registration page views, registrations, countdown page viewed, presentation page viewed, buy button clicked, and expired page viewed. Those are the only things that we're looking at right now. Now I do have it on my schedule to add some more elements under this, but this is the basic tracking. Now you can really, okay, awesome, Delphine. So you can actually really isolate what you want to view by clicking these individual lines here, and by doing that you toggle the datum associated with that line. So this is the registration page views. So there were apparently 28 views of that page on September 24th. Now if I go to, I didn't really do a registration on this except for testing, so there wasn't a lot. The countdown page, no, but the presentation page got a lot of views here. We got 480 views on that presentation page. Very little buy button activity. That offer just didn't turn anybody on, right? So, and then, of course, the expired page views. But that's how that works. Okay, so that is about it. That's about it. The final thing is the training. I don't really have video training yet, but that's being worked on, and that it will be here. I have a very, very good manual that I've written. Okay, so a lot of times people say, man, I don't want to watch videos, I want to read a manual. And this time I just sat down and wrote the manual. The manual is really, really good and comprehensive. It goes through everything. And then the video is going to be done based on the manual. Okay? Okay, great. So honestly, that kind of brings me to the end of the show, the presentation. Now what I want to do is take about 20 seconds and just run and get a glass of water, and then I'm going to answer all your questions. Does that sound good? Does that sound like a one? All right, 111. I'll be right back. 20 seconds, give me 20. Be right back. Alrighty then. Thank you, Joy. Thank you. I'm really gratified by all the nice comments that I'm getting. So okay, that's great. Everybody keep putting your questions in. So what I'm going to do is go back to the top. We got quite a few questions, so I'm going to scroll back and try to just go down from the top. Okay, let's see. Well, let me just answer this first one. I've seen it 2 or 3 times, and I need to clear this up right now. People are saying, why did you use GoToWebinar instead of Webinar Alpha for your presentation? And I think I kind of answered that, but the answer is that, Webinar Alpha is a replay system. It's not a live system. It emulates live. If you set it up to do so, it will emulate a live presentation and give you all the benefits of a live presentation without the headache of assembling the presentation and giving the presentation. There are so many videos out there that are converting webinars and converting product videos that have already been made. And with this, you can literally hijack any one of them and put your own link on it and publicize it and promote it. Right, so that's why it's not really a live webinar system. However, the first set of OTOs in the offer is a live webinar system from Sam Baker, his sister from Sam Bacon. And there's a system from Sam Baker called Run a Webinar. And I don't know that system, so I can't talk about it, but I trust Steve and Simon, and they say it's really good. So, we kind of all got together, and I can't say really anything about that, though, because I don't know that much about it. Okay. Paul asked me, sales page says video from YouTube or uploaded. Yeah, that was a little bit misleading, Paul, because the actual truth is you can use any MP4 video that's stored anywhere on the internet that you can access. That includes S3. That also includes just putting a video on your web server and putting the URL to it in there. You can also copy and paste any YouTube video in either one of the video slots. Bruce asked me a good question. Can you have multiple accounts, names to do this for clients? Right now, we do not have that, but I had already kind of become aware that that would be something that would be helpful to people, because since the system shows your company info on the bottom, you may want to be able to switch that up and show different company info, right, Bruce? So that's definitely on my radar also too, and it's not going to be that hard to make that. Okay. Anne asked me how many minutes should a mobile webinar last for? Whatever it takes to do what you want to do, Anne. A webinar is really just a video, right? So, it can be a video, any kind of video that accomplishes what you're trying to do can be used. For example, I don't know how many of you got involved with me from ICC Express or one of these other softwares that I've sold, and I've done it by emailing you on my list and saying, please go and check out this video. And then when you go see the video, it's just a blank page with a video and a buy button on it. And the video says, hey, let me show you this here. Here's how the program works. It does this. It's really cool. I have a special going just until Friday, blah, blah, blah. Click the button now and get this. So that's exactly what this is really designed for. So that could be a 10-minute or 5-minute video, Anne. However, some of your more higher end converting webinars, actually are more like an hour long or an hour and a half. And it really just depends on the sales presentation and what's the conversion, right? Okay. Bill asked me, this is sort of goes along with this, Bill, you asked me, do we need to pre-record our videos? Well, yeah, a video needs to be existing, right? It doesn't mean that you need to pre-record it. It just means it needs to be existing somewhere and have already been recorded by somebody. Doesn't have to be you. It could be, I'm, sort of coming up in the affiliate marketing space. I know a lot of these guys now, and they all have, and not all of them, but a lot of them have these offers that they sell on, on videos, and they have the webinar already in the can. All you need to do is get the video, get your link, put it into system, and put the page out there, and you are making bacon. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, next. Okay, Tony, I think I answered your question about evergreen webinars. Mike asked me if you use a YouTube video, will the ads associated with the video play? I don't know. I haven't seen that, Mike, but I haven't used really anything other than my own YouTube videos, to be honest with you. So it might. I don't know. I'm not, I think there are some parameters that we put in, like we put in there to not to show the info and not to show related videos and things like that. Not sure if that completely turns off the ads and annotations on the videos. But that's why, I mean, that's kind of like the lazy way to do it, is to grab a YouTube video. So I'm not trying to call you lazy. I'm just saying that you might want to put a little time and just find the one that works correctly for your whatever your strategy is, right? Zahid asked me, are the chat options and the scarcity part of the main product and not OTOs? Great question, Zahid, and that's absolutely right. Everything I've shown you today, except for that quick view of the reseller area, is included with the front-end product for lifetime, plus all upgrades. Robin asked me, can the two hosts participate in chat with viewers? Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no limit on the chat, Robin. You can have as many people on the chat as you want, and there's really no distinction between host or non-user. It's just the name that you pick. So, any number of people can be on that chat. It's not really like a fascist chat where you can kick people out and stuff like that either. It's just like very generic. People just come and go as they please. Okay. Okay, now again, Delphine asked me about the language. I said, yeah, that's a trend that I think we're going to be addressing soon, is language options. Okay, I'm scrolling down the list. I'm like way up at the top of the list. I'm not seeing even the new ones that are coming in yet. So let me. Let me see. Can templates be purchased in packs? I don't know what that's about, Zahid. That might be for the OTO from Sam Baker's OTO and not this, because we're not selling anything additional to this. It all comes with it, okay? Right now it's just the Facebook comments, Delphine. We don't have another comment option. Facebook's great though. I mean, I can't imagine why you would not want a Facebook comments, unless people are trashing it or something, but if people are trashing it and you don't like it, you can just trash the comments. Roll. Okay. Tracking, yes, tracking's still good when hosted on your server. The local server does not need to be strong, Delphine, because all it's just doing is passing requests to our server and forwarding it back. Kevin asked me, how does it handle international time zones? It handles it very well. In fact, I spent a lot of time working with the time zones, Kevin. The only time, though, that it really, really matters is when you choose a specific date and time, right? Because then you want everybody around the world to be able to tune in at the exact time based on your time zone and how it appears to them in their time zone. So that's how it's programmed. And when you use one of the more flexible scheduling types, the user can tell at Webinar Alpha what their time zone is. And just say, okay, I'm in like Asia, Dhaka, for example, my VA has. And so he selects that, and then the flexible time says, okay, great. So you can see this presentation then at 5 p.m. in Asia, Dhaka time, right? So it works for his time. That's how the flexible schedules work. It's like we're not forcing you to show up at 4 a.m. just because it's 4 p.m. in the United States. You know, you show up at 4 p.m. your time. That's how it works. It's all set for that. Okay. Next, Martin, yes, you can use an affiliate's webinar that you saved as an MP4 to sell the same affiliate product with your link. Absolutely right. That's what it's absolutely perfect for. So Bill, you've asked me a couple times if you need to pre-record the video. So this is how you might do the main presentation, is get that other affiliates webinar. But you could always record your own intro video, Bill, and let's say like, hey, it's Bill here, and I just want all you cool people out there to know that I've discovered something really awesome, and you need to get involved with this now. You know, that's really what that preview video is all about. Bruce, don't even worry about the 9 a.m. Webby. I love those guys, but I can already tell you this Webby is way better. And we're not going to be repeating that first one anyway. So let's see, other questions. We got more questions. Robin asked me, if we use this to promote an affiliate product, we can track what runs through our promo webinar we do for that. That's correct. You track the stats on your event, which happens to use someone else's video. Yes, Paul, Sendwire is a social networking distribution platform that a lot of us have. And it's really just for taking a URL and then spreading it around the internet so you can get traffic coming back to it. So you can do that with your Webinar Alpha links, either for your registration page or your anonymous presentation page. And you can put them through Sendwire. And we're just going to put a little integration so that you can choose to automatically distribute your public pages over the network. Now, people have been asking me about the reseller package. Okay, now for, I think it's $197, you're going to receive your own admin console for Webinar Alpha, where you can create licenses and revoke licenses. You can search your users, see who has a license. If they stop paying you or something, you can turn off their license, and so on and so forth, just like I do with all of my customers. Okay, just like mine. And in addition, you're also going to receive special PHP files called JVZ IPN file that you're going to be able to put on your server and then plug that into JVZoo when you create an offer, so that if somebody buys your offer and pays you, that script will automatically send them their license. Okay, so that's going to be part of the reseller package too. That is part of the reseller package. Okay, some more questions here. Thank you, Rick. Joy. Cliff asked me, what's the best size for webinar video and preview videos? Well, obviously they should look nice. I'm going to say probably something like 800 by 600 or 720 by 480, something like that for the main one, and then you can use a smaller one for the preview, certainly. What autoresponders can be used? Anna asked me. Well, right now we have GetResponse and Aweber. I'm going to be putting in SendLane, and I'm also planning on putting in integrations for any form that you just paste in the form embed that you get from your provider. So that's coming up. It's not in yet. Link to the PDF manual. Absolutely, David. Let me just get that for you real quick. Anybody can watch this, can read this PDF. And I just sent that to everybody. Petra asked me, I would like to have an HTML section for each webinar so I can put in my email series because my email provider has tags and no lists. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Petra. If I think that's what you mean is like the embed code. Yeah, that's what you mean. Yes, I just said that. I think I just addressed that. So I am planning on putting in something where you can just paste in the HTML for your embed code. And we're almost at the bottom here. Okay, yeah, it's just going long. I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, so I'm coming down to the bottom. And feature, yeah, well, I'm not gonna deal with feature requests on this call, okay? I'll read them, but I don't want to just go through everything because it's just starting to get really late here. Replay of the Webby, absolutely, Hillary. I'm going to send it to you on a Webinar Alpha public page so you can check it out. S3 video uploader, Cliff. I suggest you get S3 browser. This is the software that I use right here. It's more better, my brother. This is more better than trying to upload through some website. Okay. Totally suggest that. Can we make webinars for our clients? Absolutely, Tony. You can do whatever you want. There's no rules. There's no rules here. Okay. And if you're in my mastermind group, you have access to this. Yes, Rick. If you guys would like to join my mastermind group, rather than buy the software, you can do that. It's a monthly subscription. Reach out to me, okay? Okay, I don't know, Keith, what's the difference between this and somebody else's product that I don't know. Sorry. Once again, if you are a member of my unlimited software membership and mentoring group, you receive this as a part of your package, okay? If you don't, then I'm going to give you a link right now without any further ado and a coupon. Here is the link. And I think the coupon, if I recall correctly, is Hugh 20 off. And that's going to give you 20% off of everything in the funnel. I hope you guys all got that okay. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put it right up here on the screen for you. One moment, and in our alpha, that's it. This is the place, baby. bit.ly.com/webinar alpha, and this will get you there. And use the coupon is Hugh 20 off, and that's only going to be good for like a short time. I don't know how long, but it's not going to be good for very long. Okay, there you go. Paul, I tested this in like different mobiles. I used a lot of different views to test this, and I think it looks pretty good. Okay, I think it looks pretty good cross-browser. I'm open for any, find any bugs or anything. Of course, reach out to me through the purple intercom icon there. People are asking how can they reach me. Okay, so I'm going to give you my email address, which is support@instantcontentcurator.com. Let me put that up on here for you. It's not quite making it, is it? Okay, that's where you reach me. Now, if you're interested in our mentoring group, which includes all my software, weekly mentoring, and all my new tools come in the future, everything I've done in the past, FidWorks, blah, 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 everything, that's where you're going to get with my monthly membership. I'm not really here to sell that, but it's been asked. So reach out to me at that address if you want it. I'll give you a deal. Okay, now, if you don't want that monthly membership, if it's a little bit too cumbersome for you, that's fine. Please do go to bit.ly.com/webinaralpha and use the coupon Hugh20 off for 20% off for a limited time after this webinar. Okay, I think that's pretty much brings us to the end of today's presentation, unless there are other questions. Hey, Doug. Just in case you want to know, Doug thinks that my monthly membership is the best and way worth the monthly fee. Well, thanks for that, Doug. Oh, you want the link for what? Awesome, Rick. What did you want, Robin, for the Bitly thing? Oh, okay, hold on. So it's http://bit.ly.com/webinaralpha, all lowercase. That's how you get to this offer. Now, to get the discount, you put in Hugh20 off. Lena, for that kind of thing, please contact me at support and we'll take care of that. I can't just deal with everyone's customer service on this call, okay? The support link is the same. It's support@instantcontentcurator.com, the red email address that you see on the screen right now. That's where you reach me anytime. Also, I'd like to invite you to join my Facebook group if you're not in it. It's Web Dimensions Users and Friends, and I'm going to give you the link for that too right now. It's facebook.com/groups/VIC Pro, which is one of my other software. That's just how it got named. So I'm sending that to you right here, and I'll put that on the screen too. I want you to please join my Facebook group so you can also have another way to reach me. You can personally become my friend. I would love that. And you can, if you need anything from me, that's a great way to get in touch with me. Groups, VICPRO. Again, this doesn't quite fit. Let me just bring that down a touch. And there we go. Okay, so just go over there to that URL and request. Now the thing is, if I give you the link for my monthly membership, it's like super expensive, so I want to give you a deal. So that's why I'm asking you to contact me in customer service. If you really want to get into my membership, I'll give you a substantial discount for the monthly subscription, okay? So instead of sending you that page, I'd rather deal with you privately in customer service and get you the best deal I possibly can on that. If you're really serious, reach out to me in customer service. Okay, awesome. Yeah, time for you UKers to go to bed, right, Ann? Getting a little late. And it's late for me too. I've been up almost a day. But I'll tell you what, this is fun. This is fun hanging with you guys. Cliff, great to see you. Lena, I mean, I could go through everybody's name here, but it would keep me here another hour. So I just want to say thanks so much, everyone, for being here and giving me the opportunity to dump my brain, give you that brain dump like I promised. And I got a feeling that you did get some good stuff out of it today. So, okay, enough of me blabbing. Let's go ahead and shut her down for today. And you guys know where to get me now. You know where to reach me. If you need me, just reach out. I'm right there. Okay, guys. Awesome, 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 Rick, Dud, everyone else, Robin. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. And you guys have a great, great night. Okay? All righty then. Bye.